Hey, do you want to win a $10 Amazon gift card? If so, scan the QR code on the screen and pick your winners for the NBA Christmas Day games.
And if you want our insight, head to MVHSMane on YouTube and you can find our brand new video on our picks for the game and what we think. Good luck.
Welcome back, sports fans. We got a special holiday-themed episode for you guys this week. Robert, run it down for us.
So first off, happy holidays, everyone. You see I got my winter Packers hat. I got my Christmas sweater on. It's going to be a great Christmas for basketball, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to highlight all the basketball games for you, and let's just get into it. Jackson, what do you think about this Pelicans-Heat matchup?
Well, it's definitely an interesting matchup. No, Christmas Day is, it's known for having its storylines, but this one is kind of there's no storyline here. It's a straight-up matchup. You got the young, up-and-coming Pelicans taking on the Eastern Conference champion Heat, and I think it's going to be a good one.
I think it is too. Personally, I think that Zion will break out. I think ESPN did have him a little high, ranking him the 17th best player after only about 20 games. But I think in this game, he'll prove that he is a breakout star against the former Eastern Conference champions, because there will be no injuries on either side, no major injuries playing a factor. So you have a healthy Lonzo Ball, healthy Brandon Ingram, healthy Zion. Zion will be at 100% to just start the season. And I also think that the Heat have something to prove. So I have the Heat coming out at the end of this one.
I agree. I also have the Heat coming out of this one. Moving on to the next game, we got the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Golden State Warriors. Also, not really a matchup generated by storylines. It's Steph Curry versus Giannis. Get the James Wiseman debut. What do you think about it?
I think that James Wiseman, he'll do pretty well. I think that he's gonna fit into that. He's gonna fit into that role nicely. I think that Steve Kerr will have to step away from the small ball approach, just because James Wiseman is more of your traditional big. However, he can run the floor well, so I think that they can keep that up-paced offense. I think he'll be a major factor playing into that game, because it'll be a major size addition to the heavily undersized Warriors.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be quite the Christmas debut for Wiseman, going to go up against Giannis, the two-time MVP. It's going to be a tough one for him.
And moving on to the Nets and Celtics, this is, to me, I consider this Kyrie's official return back to Boston. It is going to be weird because he's going to have no fans, so I think that's going to play a factor into his performance. I honestly think he'll do worse because I think he feeds off that energy. But this will also be, for me, more importantly, I think KD will show that he hasn't gone anywhere in this game and that he'll lead the Nets to the win. I think that he will have a bigger impact than anybody on either side. However, I think Jason Tatum will have another one of those great games that he usually has, and he'll have very clutch moments. I think this will be a close one, but I got the Nets.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to disagree with you on this one, Robert. I really like the core of the Nets, and I think it's really mixed up with KD, Kyrie, DeAndre Jordan, and I don't have a lot of confidence in them this year. And I think the Celtics, with their up-and-coming ways, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, you got Kemba Walker coming back, I think they're going to take the Nets.
At 7 o'clock, the Lakers and Mavericks will play, and I think that the Lakers will have something to prove in the fact that they need to show that they can win back-to-back, especially with the new additions they added. I think that Dennis Schroeder will make a big impact. I think that LeBron and AD will play at their usual all-pro level. So I just think that overall, no matter what they can do, even though the Mavericks have stepped up their game, and Luka Doncic will win MVP this year. He'll do that well. However, I just think that they won't overpower the Lakers on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. I think this has the best chance to become one of those instant classic games, and I really like what the Mavericks are putting together. I just think they're a year or two, maybe even 5 years away from a championship right now. I love Luka Doncic. I love Kristaps Porzingis, but the Lakers are an unstoppable force right now.
And the final game of that night is the Clippers in Denver versus the Nuggets. I think this will be a great game, as the Clippers will want to show people that they aren't the team that they were last year, and they aren't going to blow that 3-1 lead. And I actually believe them. I think that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard will come out that game strong. And I just think that overall, Nikola Jokic will have a great game, but I don't think that him and Jamal Murray, it'll equate to a win against the Clippers.
Yeah, this game has the chance to be really good to watch. On one hand, you got the Clippers. They're trying to prove that they're a championship contending team. But then, not a lot of people talk about the Nuggets, and they're going to want to cement themselves as that number 2 team in the West. This one, really tough to pick this one. I am going to also go with the Clippers. I think they will get their revenge.
Thanks for watching this holiday edition of the Double Team Talk Show. To check us out, head to MVHSMane's YouTube page, as well as following us on Twitter. We'll be back in the New Year's, but until then, happy holidays. I'm Robert Stewart, and that's Jackson Corbett signing off.